Dragon Age 2 was the most controversial of the three games in the Dragon Age series. There are a number of reasons for that, and in this video I will explore them, and I'll show you why the game earned the ire of critics and players alike. But also, to be fair, I will also look at the game's many strengths and features.
But he is human. They did not even...
At the time of its release in early 2011, Dragon Age 2 came with really high expectations from the series' fans, especially given how well its predecessor was received.
in my family for generations. Please accept it with my thanks.
Dragon Age 2 takes place in Kirkwall, a city that the protagonist Hawke moves to with his family shortly after the Battle of Ostagar. In Kirkwall, there is a crisis caused by the invasion of the Qunari, who are a race of giants introduced in Origins. Except in this game and onwards, they have horns. To further complicate things, there's a conflict brewing between mages and Templars.
Before the righteous.
Unlike its predecessor, the plot in Dragon Age 2 is linear and without the meaningful choices that Origins gave the player. This means that regardless of whether you choose to side with the mages or the Templars, it really doesn't matter much at all because in the end both sides are shown to be corrupt, despite having some legitimate grievances. On top of that, there's nothing you can do to prevent the Qunari invasion and the subsequent events that follow either. Which begs the question, why play an RPG if it doesn't give you meaningful choices, when that's a major point of RPGs, isn't it?
Righteous.
Well, to be fair, the game does have some redeeming features after all. The cutscenes and dialogue option wheel is a vast improvement from Origins. It is easier to maintain consistency in your character's personality and motives by basing dialogue options on whether they are angry, sarcastic, or friendly, as the wheel helps you to visualize. The companion characters are also well written in the sense that all of them serve a purpose relevant to the larger plot. Take Isabella for example. Her behavior in the game can be explained by her uneasy relationship with Castilion and the Qunaris, which is why she refuses to visit them at their hideout at the docks.
You wouldn't play fair, which you didn't. We can talk later if you want. Right now, we have other problems.
You don't have to tell Castillon about Isabella.
If I cross him, he'll have me killed. And my life is worth more than hers.
There's only one way to settle this.
Another thing this game does really well is combat. It is more systematic and enables strategic decision-making in the placement of your allies and their AI behavior when fighting enemies. This is incredibly useful when playing at normal or hard difficulty. The combat UI is also much smoother than it was in Origins. Personally, of all the three games including Inquisition, I found combat playing as a mage to be the most enjoyable in Dragon Age 2. I'll take spamming my stave abilities and attacks with a mouse and keyboard over a console controller any day. The combat interface provides numeric inputs on damage done and neatly separates it by the type of ability. The fighting arenas and dungeons in this game are repetitive, and that's been criticized by players and critics alike. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. At higher difficulties of the game, when you're playing, it really aids you in strategic combat because of your familiarity with the game.
Why did you do that?
I still don't know where it is, but you'll be the first to know if I hear anything. Anyway, thanks for helping me out with Hader.
I think I'll tag along for a while. There might be something I could do for you. And I have a room at the Hanged Man if you're looking...
Just like the other Dragon Age titles, you have the option to pick and choose which of your companions will fight along your side in a quest, and you can always swap them around however you like. This makes for interesting scene construction and conversations, but it also allows you to manage your relationships with your allies in the game to your liking. For example, if you're going to make a decision that a certain character would not approve of, you might not want to bring them along with you, because they would react to it differently. Now on to the things that didn't go well for this game. The critics of this game will argue that the system for leveling up and gaining experience, along with the skill tree, leave a lot to be desired, as it follows the same old basic tabletop RPG model that's already been used in several games throughout the years. It's also been criticized for how little loot and inventory there is in the game, and the fact that the game takes place in a one-zone Kirkwall is a downside for many players who dislike the small playing world. But the most frequent and consequential critique of Dragon Age 2 is the way it handles the Mages vs Templar clash in the second half of the game. To understand it, it's necessary to grasp how consequential Anders' actions are at the gallows. You see, Anders is the reason why the culmination of your character Hawke's choices and actions in this game seem underwhelming. In this scene, he goes on to do something irreversible, but also necessary as it sets the beginning of the story of Dragon Age 3, Inquisition in place. Let's quickly watch what happened together so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I will have the tower searched, top to bottom.
You cannot do that. You have no right.
I have every right. You are harboring blood mages, and I intend to root them out before they infect this city.
Blood magic. Where do you not see blood magic? My people cannot sneeze without you accusing them of corruption.
Do not trifle with me, mage. My patience is at an end.
A wonder that I never saw it begin.
The way you two carry on, people will talk.
You came.
This does not involve you, champion.
I called him here. I think the people deserve to know just what you've done.
What I have done is protect the people of this city time and again. What I have done is protect you mages from your curse and your own stupidity. And I will not stop doing it. I will not lower our guard. I dare not.
Is there any truth to what she's saying? These are only her latest accusations, nothing more. And what if she does not find what she's looking for? How much further will she go to root out something that isn't there?
The champion knows better than anyone how deep the Circle's corruption goes. I must find the source.
There must be some way we can work this out.
What other option do we have? Shall we look the other way? Tell the poor victims of a possessed mage that we meant no harm? Tell me, champion, that you have not seen with your own eyes what they can do. Heard the lies of mages that seek power.
You can't use the actions of some to condemn them all.
You would cast us all as villains, but it is not so.
I know, and it breaks my heart to do it. But we must be vigilant. If you cannot tell me another way, do not brand me a tyrant.
This is getting us nowhere. Grand Cleric Athena will put a stop to this.
You will not bring her grace into this.
The Grand Cleric cannot help you.
Explain yourself, mage.
I will not stand by and watch you treat all mages like criminal, while those who would lead us bow to their Templar jailers.
How dare you speak to
The
me?
Circle has failed us, Orsino. Even you should be able to see that. The time has come to act. There can be no half measures.
Anders, what have you done?
There can be no turning back.
Make her have mercy.
There can be no peace.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
I removed the chance of compromise, because there is no compromise.
The Grand Cleric has been slain by magic. The Chantry destroyed. As Knight Commander of Kirkwall, I hereby invoke the right of annulment. Every mage in the Circle is to be executed, immediately!
The Circle didn't even do this!
What makes this particular event in the game so controversial is the fact that it takes agency and power away from Hawke, or in other words, the player, who spent upwards of 50 hours or so in this game, and just gives it to Anders. This also ruins any relationships with other characters that you've worked hard to build over the game, because now you're put in a spot over Anders' actions and forced to pick a side. Many RPG players regret this because in the other titles in the Dragon Age series, and in other games of this genre, the key feature is the freedom to make important choices, and that's being taken away from you in this game. Retrospectively, it makes much of what you've done redundant, and it makes the plot incredibly linear.
The world needs to see.
You fool! You've doomed us all!
We were already doomed. A quick death now or a slow one later. I'd rather die fighting.
You're a murderer. The Grand Cleric, the mages, their blood is on your hands.
I know.
It doesn't matter. Even if I wished to, I could not stay my hand. The people will demand blood.
I don't want to get involved in this.
You are already involved. You are the champion of Kirkwall. Do your duty, or fall with these mages. It is your choice.
I won't let her slaughter all of you.
I knew I could count on you.
Hawke, if you do this, I don't know if I can follow.
And so you would defend these mages, after all they have done? Throw yourself at a hopeless cause?
You sure about this? Even you might not win this fight.
I know we can do this. I believe in you, Hawke.
Ah, shit. What have you gotten yourself into this time, Isabella?
Think carefully, champion. Stand with them and you share their fate.
I'm not helping you, Meredith.
Thank the Maker.
No, I won't fight to save these mages. Not for you, not for anyone.
I see what you are trying to do, and my place is with you.
You are a fool, champion. Kill them all! I will rouse the rest of the Order.
Go! Get to the gallows before it's too late!
So to conclude, Dragon Age 2 does make some steady improvements in graphics, character writing, and combat UI. But ultimately, these are all underscored by the short length of the game and its controversial linear ending. But even with all this in mind, personally, I enjoyed playing this game very much, and I would still recommend it to other players. This is because the game's story, for all its faults, is still an enjoyable journey to partake in. The dialogue with other companions, especially those with Fenris, Varric, Aveline, and Isabella, are really intriguing and enjoyable. Thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want, and leave a comment with your feedback. Until then, I'll see you later.
I have to look for him there. But if things go wrong, if he possesses me, I need you to strike me down.
What if you overpower me? What then?